Topic Central, and today I want to fly you all the way to South Africa. You know how we do it on this show, like we give you a taste of literally everything. And on the show today, I am joined by one fantastic, beautiful lady all the way from South Africa, Pilani Bubu, a singer-songwriter, award-winning star, a storyteller, a media personality, a beautiful girl, a fashionista, all that and so much more. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Yes, you know we have
Hey,
to
you must
say it.
continue. Kiteng wena okay, kiteng.
Okay, help me get that correct.
So dumelang is what you said to me, and I say lekai, how are you? And then you say kiteng wena okay.
Kiteng wena okay.
Kiteng.
Unjani.
Tipili la konto njani wena? Hey, this girl, she was just moved to South Africa.
Sharp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, that's how we're beginning the show. Welcome. For how many days have you been here now?
Well, I arrived on Monday, so what is the date today? Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I guess it's 2.5, or almost 2.
Yeah,
I guess.
But I understand this is not your first time here. You've been here over and
I'm
over
a resident.
again.
I'm part
so
of the
this is
furniture.
kind of like your other home now.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Tell me something you like about Nairobi so far, and the country actually.
Right. I mean, every single country for me, first it's the people. So I go to spaces for the people. And what I love about what I found in Nairobi when I first ever came here, which was maybe 2014 or 2013, I came to do Orange Beach Street. I was actually one of the executive producers and conceptualized that. I know, we do other work. And I like the fact that there was music in a lot of venues. So it's something that stood out for me that now, you know, Kenyans love music and that you guys put on live music. So it never left me because I'd gone to like 3 different venues and there was music. So I was like, okay, any country that loves music and promotes artists is good. And secondarily, what I discovered is that your art scene, you know, like your artists stick together and they kind of entourage together. And the best way to build a music industry is if artists stick together and they work with each other and they grow the industry together. And the third thing is that I've discovered that Kenyans love R&B.
Oh, yeah,
I came a lot and I was like,
we're actually hopeless romantics in a way.
Maybe that's what it is, right? And I was like, oh my God, like Kenyans love R&B, and I met and discovered a lot of R&B artists, and I love R&B, but it became something I kind of like would not do because, you know, there's also this move to sing a lot of indigenous African music because we have this fight for identity. And so Kenya for me really balanced out like the child that I am. They grew up on 90s R&B, but also grew up on folk, but also grew up on African music. And the fourth thing I love about Kenyans,
tell me,
is that you guys love South African music.
Oh, we do. We're about to count Tempela over here.
Hey, I'm not even talking like I'm a piano.
Yeah.
I'm talking, you guys love the legends. You love Sophia Town jams. I mean, I went to gigs here and people were singing Mary Makeba Pata Pata. And you know, it has a weird way of like, a welcoming way of saying, you're welcome and we love what you do.
We actually do love your music. I can't tell you how many South African artists and DJs have performed over here and the tickets were like sold out. Yeah. So yeah, we love you. We really do.
Well, I love you guys.
Stay here some more.
I will.
You know?
And I'll be back.
Now, before we even talk about so much of your music and what you are promoting right now, let's talk a little bit about your style. You know, it's very obvious you have this flower thing going on and your bright colors and you really look fantastic actually while doing it. But I just want to know what's the inspiration around all of this.
Right. So I go with like my mood and how I feel. I think my life is full of thematics. There's like a concept in my head about where I am and how I feel inside. And so I feel I've actually been through Kenya through different themes. Like my project Warrior of Light was a lot about like lightness and trying to like find the light in the dark. So I wore a lot of white. And I think I also then went through a phase of like kimonos and Japanese synergy with Afro contemporary sort of styling. And there's a lot of pictures that I've shot here in my last shows with Ojwak, which is like, I don't know, 2 years ago now. And so that was the feeling. It was kind of having this like Japanesey, like balanced intake of like how I'm, you know, working through Afrofusion or like the fusion of my Africanness, you know, and how it communicates with the world. And where I am now with my flower crowns is that I really feel like I'm in a space where some of my ideas are really blossoming. So it's almost like the ideas in my mind are really growing, like, and the flowers are flowering. And so that's the theme that I'm in at the moment, in terms of this intermediary space between announcing like this coming project, announcing my folklore festival, announcing a few things that I have lined up this year. So it's kind of like how I'm starting the year with a blossoming in full bloom kind of mindset. And then I don't want to tell you what Lockdown Love Story is about. It's all color blocking and pinks and blues.
Are we allowed to get into that?
Yeah, this is what we hear about.
Oh, yeah, thank God, thank God. But I really love the concept. I mean, creatives are such deep people. Like, she just woke up, she feels like her ideas are blossoming, and so she's gonna walk around looking like a flower. Yeah, that's so cool. People in the bank can do that. You can just walk into that bank.
I mean, unless you wear it in navy blue.
Yeah.
And make
but
it
still, even that.
Yeah.
Even that.
Yeah.
Anyway, now let's talk about lockdown
love story.
I'm very interested to know, is it coming from the lockdown? We're all in a lockdown, going through the pandemic, different phases of it, and then this pandemic decides there's going to be a new variant anytime it wants to. So what's led to lockdown love story?
It literally is and says what it is. The lockdown love story is a love story that I kind of had during lockdown.
Is it your story?
Yeah, it is my story.
No
so everything
way.
I write is very personal. I definitely write from like my personal and lived experience.
Oh.
So I tell like my stories and how I'm moving through life.
Okay.
So the lockdown love story happened sort of when the lockdown started in March. I kind of started talking to someone online, but now lockdown happens and you have this interest to see each other, but then they lived like far in Cape Town. And so you're kind of communicating, because our president was like, go nowhere, shop, only one person shop, one person in a car, and no alcohol. So you're going to explore other things, like your feelings, your vices. You never know where your energetic field is, what you need to thrive. So in that lockdown, I kind of like started communicating with this guy, and it became sort of this like daydreamy type project. So the first song is As We Lay, and it happened in such a way where I wrote it as a poem to him after I'd imagined like being with him, like because you desire the person, you're yearning for them, and so you write down what it would be like if you met them. And so what happened is Jerry Kolisa, the duo, me and Tash, sent me a song by Afronautic saying they're looking for collaboration. And one thing in lockdown, I was like, I'm going to collaborate, because I'm usually very busy traveling around the world and touring and stuff, that I was like, I'm going to make space to collaborate with people. If anyone sends me anything, I'm going to write on it. So I told the guy I'm going to hide this song or this poem in a song. And then I did. So I put it into the song As We Lay. So As We Lay, that single is kind of the springboard of the lockdown love story. And then somehow in a relationship, when it's virtual, there comes a time when someone really wants to see more of you, because you've spoken about everything you could. 3-hour conversations, you're on the phone every day. And then they need like just a little bit more. So it talks about how the desire like fuels. So the next song is like Desire, and how that like moves you. And then Pendulum Swing is like when you're hot in the relationship and you kind of start to get disorientated because things are moving very fast. But then it's the beginning of like the end. And then it goes on to talk about the conundrum of that. Sometimes when the pendulum swings very fast, you got to find a middle place. So then him and I, we missed the mark, and then he ghosted me. So I won like a South African Music Award, August 2020. That day when he said congratulations, then he disappeared. He just disappeared.
And you've not heard from him again.
And then the rest is to be continued. I can't tell you that. Maybe there might be a lockdown love story part 2.
That means there has to be another pandemic. Does that need to have another pandemic? No, we're not going to.
I don't think so. I think like lockdown love story part 2 might be like a post-pandemic mode. Because you know what happens, like when we got to level 1, because in South Africa we had level 1 to 5. So level 5 was like hard lockdown. Level 1 was you can move around, you guys can go to restaurants, you can meet, but only 50 people or half the capacity. So people started coming out. I mean, I even thought I wanted to have kids, and I'd never thought I wanted to have kids. I thought I wanted to get married, I want to meet my partner, because it taught you that life could like disappear and end at any time, and life is too short. So you go into this like post-pandemic euphoria, or at least pandemic euphoria, and you like go into these relationships very fast, or you move very fast, So I don't know. I think that it's a continued love story. Some people maybe fell in love with other things during lockdown. You know, I deepened in my craft. Other people, it's going to be about something else. They discovered new things they could do. So the lockdown love story, it could be so many different narratives for different people.
All right. So when you write your music and you use your personal life experiences, what do you hope that the listeners are going to get from you, and what do you hope it will do for them? Because also you're being very vulnerable. It's not every day someone wants to talk about how this guy was talking to ghosted me, That sucks. Like I want to cry the whole day, but here you are talking about it. So what is your hope that you do to some of us?
Sure. So my biggest thing about why I do what I do, and all the things that I do, like design, music, communication and writing, is that I like to be a storyteller. So I kind of go by the name Indelible Storyteller as like my kind of holistic thing. And indelible means like just like leaving a mark on people there really is no reason to do this if you're not going to shift people in some way in their mindset. If you're not going to heal them, if you're not going to introduce them into a concept or a different articulation of saying something. You know what I mean? So we help people like say the things they may be unable to say. We help people sort of articulate themselves. We help people unravel ideas in their heads. We help we as an artist and help people sort of like have a consciousness shift. So in everything that I do, I really hope that people can resonate or find themselves in my story. And in some way, if I tell that story in full, someone might find the end of that, or like, close that that chapter in their life, or open a new chapter. So it's got to be encouraging. It's got to be empowering. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We are so empowered, girl. Keep giving us more stories. So I'm gonna ask you. You've talked about how you have been very keen on doing a lot of collaborations. Have you spotted a few people from Kenya that you want to collaborate with?
So
First of all, I want to give you an R&B artist who I'm hoping by now you know of. I don't know if you've heard of Nikita Kering.
Oh, I haven't heard of Nikita.
Please, after this.
Do you know how many R&B artists here I do know though?
Tell me.
But I mean, look, maybe this is serendipitous, and you are creating the right intersection. So I'm gonna note the name. Yeah.
Nikita Kering. She listens to Nikita Kering, and the first song you need to play for her, oh God, is X. Good?
Oh,
great. Yeah.
Lockdown Love Story Part 2.
Yeah, we're not trying to be exes, but these boys keep doing the most. I want to love you, but you're giving me more reasons as to why I shouldn't love you. What the hell? Yeah. So any collaborations that you're looking at doing, not necessarily just from Kenya. Tell me different people that you'd want to collaborate with.
Well, I mean, seeing that I'm in Kenya and I have a rich history with Kenyan artists, so when I first came here, I think maybe second, third time round, I was involved in a project called Femolution. I think Liz, I forgot her surname, from Creative Garages, kind of introduced me to Jinku and Hirabai. And we wrote a song called That Box at the time. And so I then started my engagement with East African Wave. And we everyone gave me a track, and we had like a 7-track project. And because of like the development of the creative idea, that project has evolved. But the name of the album is still called That Box. I've just finished recording it, so I should start releasing it sort of end of the year into next year. And so it'll be heavily based on, some of their compositions and other writers. And within East African Wave, when Sichangi joined the crew, I then met Sichangi, and they were in South Africa, so I hosted them at my house, and we went to studio sessions, etc. And so I kind of developed a relationship with Sichangi. And when Lockdown Love Story, during the lockdown, I actually started the project with someone else. And then actually that producer ghosted us. We like went on the road, performed the whole project, recorded the whole project, and that producer completely like disappeared. I think he lost the files. It was just some crazy story. So Sichangi actually came and just completely like knight in shining armor saved the project. Serendipitously, we met in Cape Town again. I was introducing him to some people, and we had like a family meeting at my Airbnb. And this producer was like, yeah, I'm still on board, Anyway, so Sichangi jumped on, and we started the project from scratch. So Sichangi produced after, pretty much most of the project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, however, what I did want to do over time, I'm going to stick to Kenya, right? Seeing that we're in that R&B space, I would love to work with Karun, Xenia.
Oh, Karun is also dope.
Yeah, and then during lockdown, Viri sent me a song, and we wrote a song. I don't know what he's going to do with it.
Oh, wow.
And the last time I was here, I went to Soul Gen, and I feel like there's a song that Ben Soul and I might have. I'm putting you guys on the spot so that you guys can make a plan to arrive at at the Village Creative at Supersonic Studios, so we can get on together.
Right. I'm super excited because there's going to be a listening party and so many other things that you're planning on doing while you're here. I really cannot wait to attend to that and see what more you have in store for us.
Please do come.
Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thanks for having me.
And Kosi.
And you and I are going to be friends because she's going to move to South Africa. I don't know if you guys
we're going to be friends. We're friends now. Chips me.
Oh, it chips you. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Chips. Because it looks like strips. Chips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it chips me.
Okay. In South Africa, we just go like shop.
There you go, guys.